Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the show, Me Conscious. I'm your host, Mackenzie Elizabeth, and today we're going to talk about something so unique, so beautiful in this day of time in the universe that it doesn't happen literally ever in 250 years. Yes. So today we're going to talk about Pluto transit. And Pluto transit officially went into Aquarius on November 2000 or November 19th, and it shifted from the stars of Capricorn to the stars of Aquarius after 16 long years of starting a new powerful chapter in our lives. Pluto is the planet of deep change and takes its time, spending decades in each zodiac sign. This planetary shift will clarify what we must let go of and move forward into our highest calling. And in order to really break all of that down and what's happening, what is Pluto transit, we've brought on Miss Mandi Rose onto the Me Conscious podcast. Mandi Rose is the relational astrologer, author of the Astrology Alchemy Journal. Fifth edition is out right now, and she is the CEO of Holistic Soul Sisters Radio. Take a moment to welcome in Miss Mandi Rose. Thank you so much for being here.
Yay. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, what a transit it is. Truly once in a lifetime. And I can't wait to dive in and talk all about it.
Yes. So Pluto transit is something we're not really used to. We haven't really heard this term. It's not like our Mercury in retrograde where it's happening every couple of months. This is something that takes 250 years to make a full cycle. So moving from the stars of Capricorn and into the age of Aquarius, what does that mean for the United States right now? Because it's really directed at the United States, yeah?
Yes. So, how I explain it, and I love how you are really excited about it because we should be really, really excited about this. We are souls on earth right now going through this cycle. Not everyone gets this opportunity. And Pluto in general is a slow moving planet, and change takes time. Evolution takes time, right? The caterpillar does not become the butterfly in one night's sleep. And so
No.
Pluto moves so slow, 15 to 20 years in a constellation. And as that's reflected in our own energetic body and within our birth chart, that is a specific area of our life for, up to 2 decades. And
Wow.
so now that we have Pluto moving into Aquarius, it is re-entering a place in the sky it has not been in 250 years. And so if you're familiar with Saturn returns, right? Everyone dreads the Saturn return where your whole
Right.
life falls apart. And as an astrologer, I tell people all the time, do not get married until your Saturn return because you will up level and change who you are.
Oh my
So as
goodness.
humans, we go through a Saturn return every 30 years. Countries, civilizations go through a Pluto return. And this is massive because if we look back in history, right, a lot of astrology is like anecdotal and we're looking at patterns and cycles. And if you go back in history, many civilizations crumble at about the 250 to 300-year mark because they have to transform. They have to go
Mhm.
through this death and rebirth because
Yes.
society has changed and our conscious evolution has changed. And so America is going through its first ever Pluto return. We
Yes.
can feel it. The pressure is happening. And it's such an exciting energy that America was born with this Pluto end of Capricorn, early Aquarius vibe, because this is how we're going to evolve as a country. And this is how the country was born, claiming power to the people and not the King of England. And now here we are in 2024, alive for this moment where in this country specifically, we are claiming our power to the people again. The king just looks a little bit different this time around.
Yes, because that the Aquarius sign in itself, if we can tap into what an Aquarian is, they are air signs, which means a lot of their energy resides in their heart. So they have to do everything from their heart. They're true humanitarians and they love to be of service to the people around them, sometimes at their own expense, and so finding the boundaries within life. What is it that I want to do and where do I want to go? And if you know any Aquarians, or if you're an Aquarian, you know how headstrong they can be. Once they've tapped into their gift or their purpose and who they are probably, if you know an Aquarius, they are probably very successful. They know exactly what they want, where they're going, what they're doing, and they will not let anybody get in their way at all, which is probably why you're feeling this huge uproar in your life of where everything just feels like it's being shaken up. And it's like, what am I doing in this area? Whether that be a career, a job, a career and a job. Well, a career and a job are different. A career that's really big that you've been in for a long time, or maybe a job that's just holding the place, or a relationship that you've been in for a while, or maybe for short term. But it's been feeling some type of way for quite a while. Something about your habits and routines in your day to day, it just no longer is at it's not suitable for you anymore. It's not suitable for your habits. It's not expanding you and involving you. It's now time to up level how you show up in your career, your relationships, your home life, your friends, however it may be, your vacations. I want to know that you're vacationing better in 2025. You know,
Yes.
it's that's a big thing because and again, Aquarians are big on that too. Because they are so residing in their heart, they are big on how they give themselves love. How do they feel? How does this make me feel? And they're diving into their desires, diving into them, which is good. It's a good thing, but it's always about, your heart. Your heart is always there to be open and also to break open. The only way we can grow our heart is by breaking it open. I heard something like that the other day and I was like, oh, that was so good. The only way to love unconditionally is to continuously love until you break your heart open. Just a little quote there.
Love it. Love it.
So, so as far as the planet Pluto transit shifting from the Capricorn sign to the Aquarius, what does that mean for our cardinal, mutable, and fixed signs? So our cardinals are Aries, Cancers, Libra, Capricorn. Mutable are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and our fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, and Aquarius. So some of us are going to be feeling this a little bit more than the others. So Mandi, tell us what that might look like in a day-to-day life for a cardinal sign.
So what's interesting is, like, you might want to grab your birth chart if you have it for this. If not, you'll still be able to follow along. So when we are looking at the different qualities of the elements and the signs, the zodiac signs, first of all, I like to look at the zodiac signs, their energies, their lenses, their vibes, their perspectives. And like you said, Aquarius is an air sign. So it's very much about the future, right? It is the energy of rebellion, revolution, innovation. Any planet that enters into that part of the sky, that star system, is going to help us move forward in our lives. And that's where the next 20 years comes in with Pluto, right? So Pluto's P, power. Let's just remember that. Anytime we hear Pluto, we think of power, taking our control back, manipulating things in our favor, stepping into the next doorway, the next vortex, the next portal. Like, that is what Pluto is here to do. And so where this shows up in your chart, based on where you have all the different planets and all the different signs, is going to affect you differently. And so if we break it down in its simplest form, we have our cardinal signs, our mutable signs, and then our fixed signs. So the cardinal signs, they kind of have a little bit of a pass in this because they're not being directly affected. They're already forward momentum. Cardinal signs begin seasons. So Aries begins the spring, Cancer begins the summer, Libra begins the fall, Capricorn begins the winter. During these seasons, if you were born during that sun season, you were born either the winter solstice or summer solstice, the spring or the fall equinox. So you're here to initiate, to spark, to kick off, to go do those things. And Pluto is just helping that, right? You're already that person that's like, let's go first and let's do this. And like, you're on your way. And so
that makes so much sense.
You get a little bit of an ease in this situation. Are mutable signs, because the energy around mutable signs is this energy of kind of like adaptable, flexible, go with the flow. Let's see what happens. It's the signs that end a season. It's like right before we go into summer, we have the
Mm.
Geminis, right? And just before we go into fall, we have the Virgos. And so this is the energy. If you were born during these sun seasons, you're going to be like, okay, should I not go? Like, all right. And you just kind of flow into the next season. So for those, you kind of get a little bit of like that spark where it's like, it's time to change. It's time to evolve. Like, do you feel the nudge from the universe? Do you feel like
Mm.
it's time? Right. And so you could feel that way if you're the mutable sign. It's my fixed signs when I'm looking at your chart that I'm like, pay attention. Like, this is your time. We are growing up. The power of Pluto is surging because when I do astrology, and hopefully you know this about your chart, your rising sign is the most important sign,
Mm.
right? So
Yes.
you have a rising sign, the constellation in your first house, the constellation that was coming up on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. Your rising sign is the most important thing in your chart. Forget your sun sign. Like, we can get into that. But horoscope, horo means hour. So it's the hour of your birth that I'm most concerned about. And if in the hour of your birth, a fixed constellation was coming up on the horizon, you're a Scorpio rising, Taurus rising, Aquarius rising, or Leo rising, that means Pluto is in one of the most important areas of your life. He
Mm.
is moving into an anchor house, I call them, depending on what fixed sign you are. So that means this is your season to step into your power and to change and transform one of the most important areas of your life, either your identity and yourself, your career, your relationships, or your home and family. So I see my fixed signs really kind of stepping into that inner kind of like, I'm ready to evolve, I'm ready to change. Where, you know, like I said, your cardinal and mutable signs, like they're moving, they're flowing. It's just going to look different in the reality of a fixed sign. Like, it's going to manifest, it's going to be apparent, it is happening. Like,
It is happening. Like it's basically saying in those fixed signs, the Taurus, the Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, that if you are not stepping into your power, or if there's things that need to change in order for this power to truly arise in the way it needs to manifest in your life, for you to feel good, for things, for you to be fruitful and successful, or to have the freedom that you need, it's time to make those changes. And if you don't make those changes, that's when things start happening, like bad things start happening. And it's not to give that to you. I'm not going to give you any juju, okay? But that's what the universe, God, spirit, our spirit guides, whatever you want to attach to that, that's what they're trying to tell you. When you go outside and you get the flat tire and then the window breaks, or the cat keeps throwing up and then you stepped it in the morning, whatever's weird, random weird things will start happening to you. And you're like, but why? And because it's time for you to make those changes, and you're going to keep hitting these roadblocks, or it's going to be more complicated until you start stepping into those power roles. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And it doesn't mean it's like, oh, I'm just going to slide right in and it's going to be easy. No, there's going to be a lots of challenges, because the universe, God, spirit, is trying to test you and make sure that this is what you want to do. And if you're already doing that thing that you absolutely love, and you're living the life that you want to live, and you don't really feel that you need to change anything, keep going. And maybe bring something in, maybe like add in some books, add in a podcast, hang out with a new friend, something new in your life that's going to make you feel passionate, alive, and just drive energy into your body. And if it just bringing in life's energy into your life, the sun, truly just let it reside in your solar plexus, and let that energy just be with you. um and there's a lot of things that we can do as for ourselves, as far as like business, when things like this are happening inside of planetary alignments. Not only is it affecting us as a person, and we can't just stop there. We can't just stop in our personal development, because you have to go outside in order to have that personal development. You have to go into your career. You have to work with people. So, Miss Mandi, what does it look like as far as business structure and how, especially like with America, because we're in this industrial world of how we show up, of CEOs and business owners and philanthropists. How does that look like in our business world on how we could maybe show up a little better, or what's kind of shifting in our world?
Oh, I love this topic. As a relational astrologer, I work with so many business owners to have better relationships like with their clients and their business partners and their coworkers and employees and everything like that. So with this Pluto moving into Aquarius, it is changing our reality. As above,
Yes.
so below, as within, so without. So
Mm,
we are all personally being affected by Pluto, and I consider the planets life coaches. And so as Pluto is
yes.
coaching us and teaching us now about stepping into our power in an Aquarius, authentic, innovative way, we're going to see other people in the collective doing the same. So, as
Mm,
my business owners, we're having these conversations of how do you need to move your business into the future? How do you need to
yes.
innovate? How do you need to stand out? How do you need to show up in your authentic self as an owner, as a company, as a niche? Because that is the energy of Aquarius, right? And
Yes.
so, ultimately for my business owners, the question is moving away from Capricorn, where Pluto has been for 15 years, right? Which is
Yes.
very much about systems, structure, rules,
They're
boundaries,
so rigid.
top down, right? CEO at the top, everyone below. Even
Hmm.
MLMs, right? You have your leader and then all the people underneath. And we've seen MLMs
Yes.
crumble. We're seeing a lot of companies starting to crumble. We're even seeing government institutions, things with one person in power at the top crumbling. So the biggest thing with Aquarius is we go collective. We get a
Yes.
team, right? We get a group of
Mhm.
people that support us. And so for my business owners, the most important thing I've been saying is you need a team to support you. Maybe you've been a solo entrepreneur, you've been running your business, you wear all the hats, you boss everyone around. It's time for you to have a council that guides
Mm,
you, right? Having mentors, having your tax accountant, like you need a team because
yes.
things are shifting and there is no more rules and there's no more tradition and there's no more ways that it used to be. Like we're all going to innovate and do things in a different way. When it comes to
Yes.
marketing is going to look so different because the power is going back to the people instead
Mm.
of the institutions. And so where marketing for 15 years was really about that doom and gloom marketing, right? Like if you don't have this product, your life's going to suck. And if you
Oh,
don't do this, you're going to die. Like that's how we were bombarded with marketing. Like, oh my God, don't buy this supplement. I'm going to be ill. Like,
oh my gosh, I just got it's Billy Mays here with another fantastic product.
yeah, like think back to all the marketing we were fed in the last 15 years, right? It had that energy of like, this is what I'm telling you to do, and this is what works, and this is tried and true. That was very Capricorn. Now
Yeah.
Aquarius is like you said, the heart. I want to be sold because it aligns with what I desire and
Yes.
it's going to solve a problem for me because Aquarius loves to solve a good problem. They're very analytical. It is air after all, but it's like this is going to improve my life in the future, right? Aquarius is the
Yes.
future. So this is going to help me move to the future. So marketing in a completely different way. And then relationships are going to look so different because Aquarius is so much about connection, volunteerism, like being of service. And so there's so many layers to this with my business owners where I'm like, you're going to start seeing it in the collective. And so we want to be ahead of that curve. Like we want to be ready as people are adjusting and getting used to this, cycle of the next 20 years. We want to
Yeah.
align our business to be ready, like innovative, right? And using technology because Aquarius loves some tech. So it's time to update your websites. It's time to start using bots and things to get things moving. Like I know that's uncomfortable for a lot of business owners, but it's just part of what's going on in the collective. No more traditional things, your old school marketing and your old school ways. You can drop them off at the garbage can on the way in because we are moving on to the thing with Aquarius is you don't even know. Like we don't know. We just have to be open to whatever comes up. So,
Yes. You have to be fluid like the wind, like the water. but like the wind,
Yeah.
and it's tapping it. And Aquarius love water signs too, like they just go so well together. It's just they can flow together. And you said something that tacked into my brain, and it's the fifth dimension. And we're going into the fifth dimension. And that's another key point of what's happening with this Pluto transit is we're going from this very, very 3D world. That's funny. It's like a 3D world to a fifth dimension world, which means we are jumping. That's where that huge jump of that timeline is coming from, of how we think of, okay, well, everything's just 3D. So I'm gonna work, I'm gonna give my 3D body life and time. I'm gonna put it to work, and then I'm gonna give my 3D money to somebody, and then I'm gonna get something back for that 3D money.
Yeah.
And then I come back with something. And so where that fifth dimension kind of evolves us and moves us up is that not we are understanding now that not everything is happening on this physical plane.
No.
If we are, and it's so funny, tapping into something else as well too. So many people will tell me like, "Oh, Mackenzie, use astrology as the base of your life for so much." And it's like, "Excuse me? What? Do you follow Elon Musk?" Oh, yeah. And because, yeah, of course, we put all of our time and our energy and our resources and our people and our schooling to study what's outside of us, the
Mhm.
stars, the planets, the moon. How far does it go? And then you're telling me that you don't believe in astrology and something else happening on a different timeline. So that's where the mind is expanding. People are starting to understand that it isn't just us.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones. If we can exist on such a plane, on such a physical plane, there must be so much more. Even like Mars and Mercury. I love those planets because they create such huge effects in our lives. Though, like those, if those can exist and cause such an effect on our body, what else is happening out there? And with that being said, with Pluto in transit right now, we're also having Mars and Mercury retrograde with that at the same time. It's a double whammy. And if you're on the YouTube channel right now and you're watching the video, enjoy.
Yeah.
Watch them. You're just
That's what's
getting
happening.
you're
It's like a
getting the whole.
full moon. Like, when you have a full moon and you're like on Earth, and that means the sun is on one side of the Earth and the moon's on the
Mhm.
other side of the Earth, and we're seeing the illumination of the moon from the sun. We are
Yes.
literally getting an illumination of Pluto from Mars because they're opposite in the sky. And this is
Yes.
going to repeat 3 times in the next couple months. It's insane because these two planets, Mars and Pluto specifically, co-rule the energy, the constellation of Scorpio.
Yes.
And Scorpio is the most uncomfortable energy because it's the energy of depth and transformation and darkness and healing and all the uncomfortable things. And it's revealing skeletons. It's saying, you know what? Like,
Mm.
if we don't address the dust under the rug, the pile's going to get larger and we're going to trip over it. Or if we don't pull
Mm.
the skeletons out of the closet, they're going to haunt us. Right. And so,
Yes.
this beginning phase of Pluto and Aquarius is like cleaning out the closets. Like, it is time. If we want to go to the future, we want to go into the next dimension, we want to vibrate higher, we want to solve our
Mm.
problems and live this authentic life. Mars is like, I'm here to do the work. I'm here to get the shovel and start digging up the things that don't serve, right? Let's pull those rotten ass roots out of our life
Yes.
and throw them away. And then we
Yes.
can plant some new flowers. And it's going to take a while until they sprout and look beautiful. Like, it's just time, right? But right
Yes.
at the kickoff of Pluto and Aquarius, it's like, we got to get in there.
Mm.
We got to get our hands full of dirt and get that rotten stuff out right away. And that's the Mars
Exactly.
retrograde we're about to enter into. And it's going to last us until the end of February. And he's going to meet up with Pluto a third and final time in May. So, like, this is just the beginning of that energy.
This is just the beginning. You literally just almost gave me a heart attack just saying that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be in retrograde for that long. Oh my goodness. Like the inner child of me was just like womp womp. Oh my gosh. Because And if you don't know what to do with yourself during this times, if you don't know how to take a step forward, sometimes I feel like this too. It's like, oh, I just don't know how to get this done. Well, start talking about it, start putting it out there, and just start making room and space. Like Mandi said, literally clean out your closet, clean out your house, just like we do a spring cleaning. We are about to move from fall to winter. It is about that time. Next month will be our winter. So we're in the middle of fall. So we need to make sure that the space in which we're living in is so comfortable for ourselves. And I don't care if it's an old shirt that you've had since 1922, okay? It needs to go. Okay. If it holds this memory that it's some good memories and some good things, but this boy gave it to me and he broke my heart, and let it go, burn it.
Girl, you
Burn
are
it to the
calling
ground.
me out. I'm like thinking of a shirt that I have in my closet that I haven't let go of, that is from like not even like my old marriage, but like 2 relationships
Mhm.
before then. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't even know why it's in there. It's so far in the back, but I'm like, I gotta go throw that shirt away. Like, it's got a pig
Yeah.
on it. Pigs are my favorite animals. I love pigs, but I never wear that shirt, and I will never wear that shirt. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you haven't worn it in a year or like 2 years, like I'm gonna donate it, because I'm not gonna wear it. Somebody tried to buy me a shirt the other day and it was full of like rhinestones and all this stuff. And I was like, they're like, this is a cool shirt. And I was like, yeah, it is a pretty cool shirt. It was a cool shirt. And they're like, do you want it? I was like, no. And then why? I will never wear that. I'll wear it
Thanks.
once for like
Thanks.
a thing, and then
Thanks.
and it'll go, it'll die in the closet. Anything that you think is in your home that is dying, rotting, you've never used it, or the tools or whatever it may be, have a garage sale, let it go and get it out of your life. And again, coming back to the beginning of, if it's your career, if it's your relationship, now is time to have those deep conversations in your relationship. Something's been bugging you. You need to talk about it. It's time to bring it to the surface. And because we have such surface relationships in our lives where people don't want to know the nitty gritty. Like I had to teach somebody about how we communicated through India. Like you don't have to say what's up. Like what's up literally opens you up for a whole nother question. Someone's gonna tell you what's up. And you just opened a can of worms because you don't know what's gonna come out of their mouth because you didn't ask them a specific question of how their mom was and how that
Mhm.
appointment went the other day. And so instead of saying like what's up, and opening a can of worms. And that's not even really what you want. You just say namaste. And namaste means I see you, I honor you, I value you. And I don't need to dive deep into everything in order to understand you. And we do that a lot in our lives without diving deep into what is going on. So if
Mhm.
you are experiencing any friendship turmoil, relationship turmoil, and it doesn't have to be bad, nothing honestly could be going wrong. And sometimes that happens to me too. Everything is perfect, but I have this weird intuition, this gut feeling that I need to bring up this topic. And it's telling you, the world, the universe, spirit is telling you, your intuition, because it needs to be talked about, needs to be brought up, because in order for you to step into this fifth dimension, into your power. Remember, Pluto equals power. I forgot to say that in the beginning of our of the intro, but now you guys know it's the topic of discussion. Pluto is power. Anything doesn't make you feel powerful. It doesn't make you feel good. That includes your clothes. Going back to the clothes, if you're not dressing to feel fabulous, and you don't feel fabulous walking out of that house, go back and change your clothes. I want you to feel like you are $1 million just walking out of the house. And that will start, your energy will just shift so much,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. I think that's such a good point because with Pluto, power and Aquarius, I see a lot of people giving their power away, right? And even in
Yeah.
astrology, when people come to do readings with me and stuff, I'm like, listen, I do not want you to transfer power to
Mm,
me. Like, you have the power to take this information and change
yes,
your life, right? And even like
absolutely.
in health, we give a lot of our power to doctors, hoping
Mm,
that they will take control of the situation and fix us. Or in business, right? We give control to whatever, our tax accountant or, other people, our clients, sometimes like our customers, we give them the power and they run the show and we give discounts and we sell all this stuff because it's like we're giving the power to the customer to determine our success in business, right? So there's so many aspects of our reality where we're calling that power back in and saying, no, Pluto in Aquarius is the energy of like, we all have power and we all have free will and we all have the ability to control our destiny, each one of us, right? And that is super exciting, like super exciting.
It is so exciting. And I love that you use that we all have the free will to do that, because I have there, and maybe we can touch base on that on another podcast, because free will is such a huge thing to talk about, especially in spirituality, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, all of the isms and all the things, because you have God's will and then you have free will, but you have your own will, but you also, when we step into that fifth dimension, we are no longer living for our own will. We are living for God's will. And when you step into your power that God gave you, it no longer feels like resistance to your power, because God gave you that power. And now it's God's will and not just your will. And that's where getting that circle together, getting the whole community together, it now becomes easier, because they also have a mission on God's will, and they will help you and they will guide you and they will take you to the top, as long as you tap into yourself to be able to tap into your God power. And that means cleaning out your home, your relationships, your body, how you eat, what are you listening to, where are you going, what are you allowing into your life, where are you giving your power away? Like Miss Mandi said, don't give anybody your power at all, at all. So I want to wrap up today with thanking Mandi so much for giving us all of her love and wisdom and knowledge of this topic on Pluto transit, because her and I have just been, we're like little girls in a candy shop just talking about what is happening in this moment of time right now. And we couldn't not have a podcast about it. We're like, oh my gosh, we could talk about this, we could talk about that. And there's so many things we could talk about to bring into fruition, to give to you guys, to be of service in the way, in our way that we know possible, sharing our gifts. So I'm so thankful that you came on to the Me Conscious podcast to share with everyone what it is that we're going through in this rare moment of life, and to be able to give them the best tools and resources possible to move forward in this new chapter. It's so good.
Yes. Oh, I love nerding out about all this stuff and talking about astrology. I do it all day long, and we really are going into a shift, and I can't wait to, walk side by side with so many people and witness them up leveling and seeing it play out. And yeah, I'm super excited for it all. And of course, there's going to be the bumps and the adjustments necessary along the way, but that is the beauty of the cosmos, right? I see the planets as life coaches, and they're just coaching us one retrograde at a time and telling us what to do if we listen and we pay attention and we follow the cosmic guidance. So let's do the damn thing.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you, Mandi Rose, for teaching us how to take our power back, for teaching us what power Pluto holds on us, and allowing us the moment, and allowing us the time and the space to understand what stepping into that fifth dimension for ourselves looks like, even though it's still happening on this physical plane. Thank you all so much for coming to listen to the Me Conscious podcast, and we will see you on the next episode. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.